Before we jump into today's episode, if you're digging Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast, please know that in 2026, our 10th anniversary year, your support truly matters. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp. Memberships start at just $1 a month and help us bring you even more KPP. You can also support the show with new Ka-Pow merch on our TeePublic store. Please know we appreciate every bit of support, and on with the episode.
You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. How great it is to be together once again. My name is Jordan Lowe.
I'm Cliff Barnes.
Seth.
We're going to talk some movies tonight. Catch up on some reviews of what we've seen recently. It's the summer blockbuster season. Our summer movie challenge is in full swing. We are seeing numbers every week. Points are accumulating. We're losing points. We're gaining points.
Crazy numbers.
I was a little worried about Jesse this week, though. I woke up to a text to our group text, and he texts. Let me double check. I put too much stock in Spielberg. And then he takes a photo from the 37th floor, looking down, like out a window. I was like, Jesse, don't do anything back.
Appropriate
Like,
response.
I thought, like,
I had just sent the numbers out, and he was responding appropriately by throwing himself off the skyscraper.
What a crazy suicide note to leave. Like, people would ponder over that for years. If you just say, I put too much stock in Spielberg.
I was see, now I thought that made perfect sense. You're just not a movie guy, Jordan. You don't understand. That's sometimes that you can only take so much.
But we did a wellness check. Jesse is okay.
Yeah. He pulled a Nirvana, the band that showed the movie. I won't tell you what that is, but he survived.
All right. So yeah, we're well into the summer movie season. I don't know that any of us are going to have a perfect score. We're not going to hit those points like Seth scored last year, but we're doing all right. We had some good predictions, so we'll keep you up to date.
We're all good. I predict we all lose this year. This will be, after setting record numbers last year, I believe we will set record low numbers this year.
Could be.
I think even the blockbusters aren't quite blockbustery this year. Everything's kind of down. With a few surprises have, surprised folks, but whatever. That's why we do it. That's why we predict things.
That's why you play the games.
Yeah.
That's why you show the movies. I went to the movies yesterday and walked in, and there was people sitting in my seats.
Oh,
man.
Here we go. It was pretty packed too. Like, I mean, there was going to be empty seats somewhere for me, but of course I want the ones I was the first person to get tickets, as always, so these were the first two perfectly picked seats that I'd gotten, and there was a couple just freaking popcorn everywhere. We weren't even, there was like maybe one preview had been shown, and it was just, they had popcorn all over themselves, all over the floor, everywhere. Just, it's like, what the hell?
They were claiming their territory.
I walked in and looked down at them like disgustedly, just like from my ivory 37th floor, and I was like, I was like, those are our seats. So let's wrap this up. They're like, well, those people are in our seats. I was like, that's your problem.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, exactly. So they started arguing with those other people till they got them to move.
They should have just walked over and dumped their popcorn on them.
Yeah. Oh, I did like stare at them as I was brushing popcorn out of the seat.
It's so funny. I've taken a little issue with our local theater. In their they really
We're not in the position to be taking issues with
well
local theater.
I get that.
So
but,
let's keep it. Here.
They really.
I had a Facebook memory pop up
Oh,
of me writing a letter to Odyssey Theaters when they first switched over to Odyssey about the Green Lantern midnight screening.
You're the problem.
Yeah. Because they had like made us wait in line in the lobby till like quarter after, and then the screen was blank for 20 minutes. Like,
they left the lights on in our theater like for 20 minutes into the movie.
I was like, you didn't start your midnight movie till 12:40. This is highly, yeah. So yeah, sorry.
Harbor Freight would have started it on time.
yeah. Ever since they really burnt me with the He-Man
sippers.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the lack of sippers in the theater that were available. And then I don't want to jump ahead, but Father's Day.
You have a sipper?
No. Oh, because the moment had passed.
Oh, I don't even want it.
No, absolutely not. They ruined my fun time, or at least attempted to.
Oh, you were going to sip for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
So, Father's Day, we had decided we were going to, us and the kids were going to go see Toy Story 5, right?
Right.
Fun family outing. And Cooper had texted me, I don't know, previous to this. And he was showing interest in the Buzz Lightyear popcorn bucket. It was a little popcorn bucket, and it had the little whooshy helmet, and it had like the wings and whatever. And he was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Whatever, Okay, cool. So we're going to see the movie. We get up there in the theater, and of course, you know how they have their merch all out front now. You have to walk through it. And he's like, not a Toy Story 5 popcorn bucket, a sipper, nothing to be found. It's opening weekend, and he was disappointed in it. I was like, well, that, I can obviously relate to that. So as we're walking through, I'm like, what the hell? Why do we have Supergirl popcorn buckets and Lobo popcorn buckets out already? This movie isn't coming out for a week.
Well, now you're watching for it.
Yeah.
What if somebody was
right.
in it waiting till the day?
Right, exactly.
Oh, right.
So, Cooper had told me as we're walking by this stuff, he said, I called the theater to see if they'd have those buckets. And I was like, oh, samesies. Russ was calling for 2 weeks about the sippers, and you saw what good that did for us. So, anyways, he was disappointed he didn't get his popcorn bucket. And they had the Supergirl, all they had was Supergirl stuff, and I'm like, this movie doesn't come out. So I was stewing about it for a few days. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send an email.
Oh boy!
Just going to send him an email, just let him know what a disappointment. How
this ends.
How
We're
the
gonna
summer
end up with a freaking another Lowe's down there. Or something.
How the summer's going with my Regal Unlimited Pass, and I wrote this big long email to him, sent it in. A couple of days goes by. I finally I got a response, and I'm like, okay, see the email pop up. I'm like, okay, let's see what they're
what other gripes did you have besides the sipper?
Well, just
was out a day early.
It's mostly Sipper related.
Yeah. It's mostly Sipper.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's a few tangents here and there, but
Yeah.
the gist of it.
we really
I was like, I'm really having trouble figuring out what
well,
this email was
it was
about.
just like, hey, this
What
was
other
supposed to be part
problem?
of our experience. We were looking forward to it. And
you have a lot of history of your life with Motu and stuff.
Right. I've waited 40 years to watch for this movie to
That's
come
what I
out.
thought. Yeah.
Wanted the
Okay,
sword. We were
As
gonna
a child,
Yeah,
I had my own
exactly.
Tonto.
That whole thing. So anyways, I write this big long thing and send it in. They replied to me, and I'm like, oh, let's see what they have to say for
I
themselves.
said, "Sir, this is a Harbor Freight."
I thought, no. I thought, well, surely they're going to care a little bit about this. And nope, they did not give a shit in their reply. Nothing was offered. No, just, we're sorry. We'll take this up with your local theater. And I'm like, well, if you had read my email, you would have, you could have referenced my take on the passive aggressive manager and his carelessness that nothing was available and they're selling everything early. And it's like, yeah, that's just great.
Wow.
Way to go.
Don't get
Regal
this
Cinema.
theater closed, Cliff. It's the only one we have.
Zippergate 2026.
We don't need a sipper gate. I'll find you a sipper.
Could have been. I don't want it now. Could have been the summer of Sipper.
Take this opportunity to stop buying their crap.
Yeah. Who cares about it?
You don't need it.
Don't
and
buy
now
that
it's
shit.
tainted, so don't even
use this. You let yourself. I do this often. I let myself sour on something, so I never have to buy it again or care about it. It's great.
Well, you have to. You got to understand a little bit too. We're a Disney family, and we have several Disney parks popcorn buckets we bought over the last few years. I was like, it's going to look great.
A chance
right to the added on the shelf.
He had a spot.
You betcha.
Did you put? I was in there. Did you send them a picture of your wall?
I should have. I wasn't going to do that
Right.
while I was at home. I did it at work, so I didn't have
good.
access to
Pension
photo
work.
op. So, anyways,
Okay, well that's a shame.
It is.
So while we still have a theater in our vicinity, we're making the
Depends
most
when
of
this
it.
episode comes out.
So what you saw? So you saw Toy Story. You're saying how was that?
Did see Toy Story.
We all saw
all
Toy Story.
Unanimously chose it as our number one movie.
Oh, you didn't see it though, right, Jordan?
No, but that's okay.
That's
Yeah, we went.
It's made
that,
money. It's going to be. I
is.
figure by Monday it'll be in the top spot.
Yeah, I was checking out the numbers this afternoon. But
look at you!
I know. Before that, we all three we went to see the first movie we've probably went to go see together since Bad Boys 11.
Yeah, we went with Cliff for his second Motu viewing. We sat through 2 hours and 20 minutes of Masters of the Universe.
It was awesome.
So I guess we should, it was long. It was too long, is what it was. But there was things to
40
enjoy.
Years.
Yeah,
not long.
That'd been a long sip. But
I think you could have got a free refill had they had the sipper. That was the deal. So
it was fine.
Yeah, no, we went and saw Masters of the Universe. You guys saw it for the first time. I don't think anybody liked it anywhere near as much as I did. I just
was a little annoyed at how much it hated itself, and it just really, they spent a lot of time making fun of themselves. It's like, we paid money or whatever to be here. So why shame us for like wanting to see this movie? That was kind of my. What was I thinking of? There was something else that did this a long time ago. I'll have to think about it. It reminded me of an experience of this happening years ago. And I was like, why are you so, why are we doing this?
Well, that's not everyone's experience. It's not everyone's experience. I know Cliff loved it. I talked to several people who really, really liked it. So I'm not out to convince anyone they're wrong. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but it just didn't hit for me. So
I think the Motu stuff, because there are so many different versions of it throughout the years, I think those of us that grew up on the cartoon probably liked it a lot better than the folks that grew up on the 2000 cartoon, or they loved the 87 movie. Because the lore with that whole thing is, the action figures came out. They came with mini comics. The story and the characters in the mini comics were a bit different than the cartoon series that followed the following year, which also conflicted with the storybooks that were out when we were kids. If you got those and read those, the origins were different. The characters were portrayed differently, or were totally different characters, and that all for years in the comics for years and years, I remember as a kid it was confusing, which led to 20 or 30 years later, whatever it was, in 2002 when the new cartoon came out. Not even talking about the 1990 cartoon, because we don't talk about that. But when the new cartoon came out, it tried to kind of wrap it all in together a little bit, and then kind of created some of its own story to connect characters and bits and pieces here and there, which obviously, that would have been like Cooper's age, and his knowledge would have came mostly from that. And then that and video games had come into play at that point, but so that was definitely different. The 87 movie was completely different. It was a canon film. I never liked the 87 movie. I know people love it because they think it's good because it's bad. I just didn't like it because it was a disappointment. That was the disappointment for me. I wanted the cartoon in 87 and got this very ultra serious sci-fi thing that it was, traveling to Earth because we can't afford for the expensive special effects and Eternia planet sets and all of that, to the point where they ran out of movie, couldn't finish the movie until later on, and then just kind of had to do some fuzzy lighting for the final battle. A different actor was Skeletor. It's terrible. And then to this, fast forward to this thing, and it's a throwback to the cartoon, and it's silly and campy, and that's what a lot of us wanted because that's what we grew up with. So I get why some people don't like it. I get why other people absolutely loved it. And, it hasn't made a lot of, but it's done great in merchandise and action figures sales and all of that stuff, to the point where they're talking about making another one. So cross my fingers. Maybe more people it'll be a hit on streaming services, and people will, maybe go see a number 2 if it comes out. So
saw one reviewer kind of nailed it perfectly for me. It was said, of course you're going to like it. The story is about a kid who grew up, had a magical childhood, and now he's stuck as an adult in an office in a boring gray world, and he gets the chance to go back and have fun with all his friends from when he was a kid. It's like,
right.
we want to we miss the 80s, and all our toys, and this is giving us a chance. If you had the chance to chuck it all and go back to the 80s and live in that fantasy land, of course you're gonna love it.
Absolutely. So
I don't know that that's healthy.
Hey, the world's on fire. Healthy doesn't matter anymore. I'll take happy.
So yeah, I've got that similar gripe of, I had most of the toy. I had tons of the toys. I read the comics, like I watched the cartoon. I just never kept up with it. It wasn't super precious to me, so I got the references. I recognized the characters. Like, hey, there's that thing. But it just had this tone to it where, like, I haven't looked too deeply into it, but I know the director has talked about being a fan and doing it for the fans and getting it right for the people who love the property. But it's like, did they though? Like, they didn't go full. Like, it didn't need to be serious R-rated Game of Thrones, like dark fantasy. It definitely didn't need to be that. But it didn't really need to be the ultra campy, like Barbie, like it's so phony and so.
The first scene is like, that seems like what the fans would want, right? The first battle is like very seriously taken. It seems like, you know what I mean? Like, Man at Arms is, against what's his face, and I'm like, oh, this seems like
what's his face sounds like an actual He-Man.
Right. I'm just like, oh, this is like this. Yeah. This is the serious type tone. Like, I was never a He-Man guy. He was just another Thundar to me. But I did watch the Kevin Smith stuff in the last few years, and so I started to know who. Like, I know what's his face. And so I've seen some of this. So I was kind of surprised how many characters I recognized, and like, I would have never known Tila before, or even that, before the Kevin Smith stuff. Because I thought those were pretty good, but they were like played seriously. And then the beginning of the movie was like that too. I was like, oh, okay. And then they did not really do that anymore.
Well, the funny thing is, when those Netflix, the series came out, everybody hated them. Everybody shit on those because they're too serious. They're not the old cartoon. How dare you have a woman, in the lead? Everybody hated them. And
like, the contrast between that Evelyn and the Evelyn we got in this movie is laughable. Like, Evelyn was like serious in the cartoons. That's the only one I even knew, right? It was like she had
in
a
the
story.
Netflix series, the new stuff.
Yeah. And this one in the movie is just a joke. Just like a lackey, it's like,
that's what they all were originally. Yeah, they were all.
I know, but
lackeys.
it's just like, what is that? What you want, or do you want the Andor version? Do you like? That's what I thought we were getting there at the beginning. I was like, oh, they're going to take this seriously, and then no, this is a joke.
Well, I mean, it had jokey parts in it because that's what the cartoon was. I mean, it had, lessons. And
it had a lot.
Oh, it had a lot of campy stuff. Yeah, I mean, Skeletor was constantly, he was that was the love for the characters. He was always, you bumbling boob, and making fun of his evil warriors, and they were always, they were idiots and easily defeated every time. They never were any real threat, more or less, in the cartoon.
I guess I just think it was not consistently doing anything. It was just kind of all over the place. I don't want to trash it. It was totally watchable, and the fans of that seemed to love it. So I'm fine with it. I'm glad people went and saw it and enjoyed it.
Great soundtrack. Love the music in it. I thought the look was, of Eternos, and the fighting and everything was great. Down to the Thunder Punch He-Man, which was an action figure. It was crazy stuff from back in the day.
Why did they not? Maybe this is seems like, I don't know. Why are we supposed to? Why he's like totally huge before and after. It's
They do not hide his massive
No.
biceps in that.
It's just
pink
like, oh
shirt.
wow, now you're He-Man. I'm like, the guy was already
But
He-Man.
That's
And it's like, why didn't you like? You could have filmed his. There's not that much Earth stuff, Roy. You could have filmed this stuff before he took all the steroids or whatever, like, or done something.
Well,
we made Chris Evans small.
so
It was like
in the transformation, the first time he transforms, you see his muscles grow, so he does get bigger.
yeah, but the guy is huge,
Right, and that's
from the beginning.
that was the way on the cartoon. He looked exactly the same. He just had a pink shirt on. He didn't when he transformed.
Okay, well,
the
that's
only thing that
stupid.
changed was his clothes. Like that was the gimmick. The action figure was
Nothing
the
even
same.
happened. He just
No,
What?
he looked exactly the same, but nobody knew who he was. That's why it's jokey. That's why
he
you know.
wasn't even like, but he's also like not the same person or whatever. Is he? I don't remember. But what he was like a different person
In the cartoon.
once he did.
Yeah. He was, he pretended in the cartoon. Prince Adam pretended to be this, kind of bumbling, can't do anything right character.
Right.
And then when he transformed to He-Man, of course, he was the most powerful man in the universe and did nothing wrong, more or less, for the most part. That was the thing, and that's, to me, that's what I got out of the movie. So the references, I get it. Maybe I think Jordan's right. The movie was made for the longtime fan. This wasn't Iron Man where you could just, this is a great movie and it's for everybody and we can just not know anything and go in and watch this movie and feel like we're lifelong fans. I don't think that's what this movie was. Them standing around, laughing up in the air, nobody's going to get that if you did not see the cartoon. And that's how every episode was. So, anyways.
Yeah, I thought the actor was good as Prince Adam and He-Man. Like, he had a good heroic quality and innocence to him. I like that idea of, like, he didn't just want to punch everyone. He tried to solve the problems. He tried to work, through non-violent
You
situations.
ripped some people apart.
But then the action
you did
was
murdery stuff.
Yeah, but also when he does that, when he does just try to be the strong man and beat people up, what's he do? He hurts the person he's trying to save. So that's the lesson there is, yeah.
Jared Leto was good. Credit where it's due. Camila Mendes was good.
Excellent.
I've always, since I was a kid, I'd never understood the catchphrase, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power." Like, that's not a great. That sounds like something was lost in translation.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you saying that's not a great catchphrase, He-Man? But I can't fix that.
I think that's just two sentences. It's two separate sentences.
Sure.
By the strength of Grayskull, let's workshop this.
Well, that's
too late.
why they changed it with She-Ra to.
It's in his email.
Yes. If you reference my email, Jordan,
In his list of
I have
demands.
the zipper.
So yeah, there's a whole convoluted history with this property, and the reason that came about is because
I didn't ask.
I was gonna say, like, I was replaying what you just said, and I was like, "Oh, is this gonna lead to an explanation for
Yeah,
something you did
it
not
is.
ask?"
it came from a Mattel focus group. That's where it came from. The kids were playing and talking about having the power, and these little boys as they played with the action figure.
I'm sure there was an executive with a cigar. Like, if they like power once, they'll love it twice.
Right.
Twice the power.
Exactly.
But that's,
So.
Again, the main thing for me was that it needed the winks. It needed the references. That's great for all the old school fans. But it also kind of, like, threw them under the bus, too. Because it made so many jokes about how dumb this was. how ridiculous you are for even being into this. And like the worst was he goes to the comic shop, and it's like that's how they're viewing us. Everyone in that store is a ultra nerdy weirdo. What, they're into swords? What freaks? And it's like mocking them horribly. It's like, that's your audience, man. What are you doing? And then they obviously it needs a joke. There's a character named Fisto. You have to make a joke about that. But they did it like 8 times. There were half a dozen Fisto jokes. It's like, stop it. At some point, make him cool. Have him do something cool.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden, like have him do something that there ain't gonna be any more Fisto jokes. Like he's gonna do the coolest Fisto thing.
Yeah, it got like halfway there for me, and then it just like it was too timid to like go all in or to let it be what it is. And that's what the fans love about it. Is you've said yourself that it's very silly, and the characters are so over the top, and it mixes every genre. There's robots and lasers and swords and fantasy. Like it's everything to everybody. And it was like, sorry, don't mean to be. Like he just kept like pumping the brakes. It's like, no, go drive off the cliff, see what happens.
Yeah, it's definitely not. And I've seen some of the most famous, the biggest Motu fans. They will tell you it's not a perfect movie. But we're damn sure happy that it got made the way it did. They could have just went and did the whole story on Eternia straight out. None of the Earth stuff. I get the Earth stuff. I know the history with his mom and that, and how they work that in. That the normal person is not going to understand or get any of that. It's not a perfect movie, but I think ultimately some folks like myself are always going to compare it to that 1987 experience that was terrible. And it's a major upgrade from that. And I'll take that any day over what we've been given, over the past few years. I like the Kevin Smith stuff. I like it too. And I think that's what I say. It's a weird property. It's had too many hands in the cookie jar over the years trying to make their own version of it, because there isn't a set in stone canon from Jump Street on this property from 1981. It's always been different, and people had different ideas, and it's different things to them. So we've spent a lot of time talking about this movie tonight. I'll just say,
getting it out.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm so happy I got to see it twice. Sure, I'll watch it a bunch of times on streaming down the road, and always be happy. If this is the only one we get, then hey, I sure
you got it. They can't take it away from you now, unless they can because you only own it digitally. You won't own physical thing, so they can take it from
you. I'm not buying a zipper. I'm not buying a DVD.
But I definitely
can't play it anyway.
I definitely get rooting for this, as even a mildly successful movie leads to merchandise, more toys, a new cartoon series, a new video game. Like it brings it back into the pop, consciousness, and that can't be bad.
For sure.
Tons of comics. There's lots of comic books coming out at the moment.
Before we get off that subject, I had already told Cliff this, but my favorite cartoon was always the Dungeons and Dragons 80s cartoon, and recently I have them on DVD, but I've never got around to watching them all. And so D&D channel, the YouTube channel, has been posting them in the last couple months, just all the episodes, and so they're all on there. So I've been watching them as they put them out. Finished the series, and which first up is not good. Like it's so funny. Like I know the feeling I had at the time watching it. How like I D&D was so new to me. I was starting to play it, and I loved the weapons, the cool weapons they had, and I was like, this is gonna be like, yeah, I just love the idea of that, going to that other world, and the adventure and all that stuff. And so it was my ultimate cartoon at the time. But man, it really is very repetitive. There's only 27 episodes, and I think, and they're just like the same thing over and over. Every episode, they almost make it back to the amusement park, and they, it's just every gimmick that's in it is in every episode, and it's like, geez, the Ralph Malph Cavalier guy is by far has the most screen time. He is just like on and on, and he's just a whiner the whole time. It's just like, gosh. It was tedious to get through. There was occasionally an episode that was taken more seriously, and I was like, oh wow, this is, there's a couple standouts or whatever, but it could have been better. But anyway, then I finally went, and I had saved in my watch later tab on YouTube for the last probably 10 years where they had written the final, like, a ending episode official. There was an episode, the show got canceled and they never animated it. And then I believe fans animated it, but it just looks like the cartoon, but the voices aren't right. And I watched it, and it like gives you an ending that has to, an ending for the bad guy, Avenger, and what that has to do with Dungeon Master, and how they go home, what they're going to do with the unicorn, because they can't take the unicorn back. And it's just like, and it has a I was glad of the experience of rewatching the whole thing and getting to finally watch that episode. I had never watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, so now I have closure. So just want everybody to know, if you were a fan of that, the episodes are on the Dungeons & Dragons YouTube page right now. You can watch them all. They look fine. It's not unwatchable. If you were a fan, you can get through them, and there's a story, and they tie it up with the, a fan version. It's not that you can just search on YouTube and get some closure. See how it ends. Finally, how do they get back? What happens? Pretty good.
Yeah, I think with any of these properties, we have to remember it was not only the 1980s, but the early 1980s, and the whole point of any of these shows were to sell toys or books or whatever merch. That was the point of the show. They hadn't been able to do that previously because of regulations that probably the only thing Reagan ever did right was get rid of, loosen up the reins on that, so we could get good cartoons that we grew up with, and 40 years later have all this nostalgia for it, and be able, if you want another good source, if you want to go back and watch any of those popular 80s cartoons for free, the streaming service Tubi currently has channels for Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, anything, all the big ones. You can go back and watch on that for free now, and that I did see
they're
awesome.
making a Thundercats animated movie.
They just announced the new.
We were talking about that after we went and saw Masters of the Universe. Cliff rode with me, and we were riding back. I was like, well, maybe this will stop whatever workings there are for any kind of Thundercats movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about that either. And I could not name one other character than Lion-O. Yeah. And then, like, the next day they announced an animated movie.
Which animated is probably stick with the animated with that property. That would be so weird to do live action.
They would make a joke out of that. Oh, my gosh.
It would be like Cats the musical.
Right. We have Taylor Swift out there with trying to play Chitara.
Now I know two names.
There you go.
And when Lion-O uses his sword, it just says thunder. He just repeats thunder over and over again. What's he do?
He says thunder. Thundercats.
Thundar.
Not Thundar.
The Thunder. Barbarian.
Thundercats
What
are
else?
loose.
What else you guys use in your movie passes?
Well, we saw Toy Story.
We
Right?
did.
Talk about
Speaking of Taylor Swift, she's got
Yeah.
got the new song for Toy Story 5. So
which whatever. It plays over the end credits, and
That's it.
I was like, oh, is this the song that we're supposed to be excited about? I have nothing against Taylor Swift, but
Yeah.
the song was nothing. I did not care about it at all. I
I
was hoping it was going to be some great movie song. Now
yeah,
that
they had to
I
fall
mean,
back
oh,
on the Sarah
It was like-
McLachlan song from Toy Story 2 or whatever it was.
Sorry, folks. That long beep you just heard was not Seth insulting Taylor Swift in any capacity, because we would never do that and invoke anyone's wrath, because we love T Swift for
Whatever.
Swifties.
I
Continue.
have nothing against Taylor Swift, nor do I care either way if her fans are mad at me. But I wasn't a fan of the song. I was hoping to be a fan of the song because I like to know, going into the Oscars next year, what's going to be nominated. I'm listening for what good songs are going to be, and not it. If that one is nominated, it's because Taylor Swift did it.
So this was introducing technology and
Yeah.
this idea that kids don't really play with toys much anymore. The window for playing with toys is shrinking the further we go into the future, right? Is that the idea?
Pretty much. Yeah, that is the battle at hand, I guess, with this one. Seth, I mean, what was your overall? Did you like Toy Story 5? Does it stand up?
It was another Toy Story movie. It's probably I never rewatched the fourth movie. Like it's been like 7 years or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't remember much about it at all. But I remember thinking it was fine. I thought so I remember thinking, there was maybe they didn't need this, but I still liked it. I probably liked this a little less, but I still liked it. It wouldn't have been by much that I like. It was something not something they didn't get all the way there with me on this one, but I still liked it. I remember sitting there at one point, probably halfway through the movie, and going, I like that I am in here watching a Toy Story movie that I don't know what's going to happen. It's just like, you're only going to be able to watch this for the first time once. It's like, so yes, if they want to make a sixth one in 7 years, I'll watch it too. Like there was definitely a comfort to sitting there watching a Toy Story movie that was not sucking. I was like, this franchise does not suck. There's something about it that they keep going. I like that they freshened it up with the, using Jesse and there's not everything worked. But there were things that were good about it. I liked some of the stuff they did with the technology, and some of the stuff I thought was clunky, but Conan O'Brien was good as Smarty Pants.
There were a couple times, just a couple moments where plot wise it was like it reminded me that it's a kids movie because it wasn't really feasible. When I thought about it with the tech stuff, but and what it can do.
Talk.
Well, I mean, of course they do. But yeah, I definitely liked it better than 4 because 4 was kind of dark. It was, it had
you're not dark.
Creepy dolls and the antique store and all of that. I mean, it was fine, but I didn't love it the way I did the first 3. This one was definitely a step. There were things that were different. I don't know if it was because it had a different director or something on it, but just the way they did, they did playtime and it worked. It was fine, but it was just different. And on how they went,
Yeah, that was a good thing though. The playtime, like showing, the tech things what playtime was supposed to be like. That was a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, basically one of the machines tries to jump off the 37th floor. Like if the leapfrog might as well have said, Spielberg, you just freaking you didn't do it this time. It was just like I was like, that was kind of dark, but yeah, it was good. There was a weird thing, like the whole freaking Buzz Lightyear storyline is like, what are we even doing? It's like, okay, you just didn't have enough story.
Yep.
So we're gonna do this. I feel like they're almost. I mean, like, what? I know they're not like interested in leaving Tim Allen out of anything. But it's like I feel like they're almost catering to him. Like, what did he need to have such a big part in this for? And it was just like, I don't know. It's a lot of that seemed unnecessary, but it wasn't terrible at the same time. It was weird that like Bo Peep and Duke Kaboom and a lot of the old characters like barely show their faces in this movie. They're like, hey, we're in this movie, but we're leaving. Bye.
Yeah. Well, and obviously some of the voices have changed because people have passed away from the original cast. Because I mean that first generation Toy Story cast is all bangers. So you know that's going to be tough to replace. It's always going to sound a little funny. But yeah, like Mrs. Potato Head in the background, she never says a word. From the last movie, the Key and Peele, the duck, the carnival toys that are stuck together, they don't really say a word because those two guys won't work together anymore. And like, you know, there's just, even when Slinky Dog talks, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't sound, it's not Jim Varney. It doesn't sound right. So yeah. So those things I
didn't
get.
notice any of that.
No.
I was just like,
well,
whatever. Everybody sounded fine.
We've been rewatching the movies also, so they're fresh, in my head.
And I've always had a problem with Woody or Buzz's catchphrase, like to infinity and beyond. Like you can't go beyond. It's infinite. You can't. What are they doing? They need to rewrite
It's a I have the power situation.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah.
No.
And there's just like a million Buzzes in this movie. They have a new and improved Buzz.
Well, right.
And he's kind of a creep also in this movie. Like they could have solved this. I was really irritated and expecting throughout for Jessie to like see something in the story that in her, she's like the star and she's doing all the stuff, and that was great. But she was supposed to learn something in there that made her think, oh, I miss Buzz for this, or I miss Buzz for that, or something to be. There was nothing. She never needed that guy.
No,
and
not at all.
And the whole movie, he is like simping for her, like, and I'm just like, leave this girl alone. It's like she doesn't give a crap about you.
She wants the horse.
I'm not sure she's into Starlight Command.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. It was good. It was a Toy Story movie. I enjoyed it. I like I said, Conan O'Brien was good. He had some good lines. He was like a early type of technology. He was like the help. It was a simple, motivating learning how to use the toilet tool. Mr. Smarty Pants. Press 1 for pee. Press 2 for poop.
Yeah,
that type of thing. It's just like he couldn't do much, and but he was learning about, he'd been stuck in the drawer or whatever, like a lot of past technology. So that was a good idea. I liked all the old junk, stuff nobody used anymore.
That Gen 1 toy technology from when our kids were super little and babies. Yeah,
which I thought that was kind of how I was when I first heard the plot, I was like, oh, leapfrog, cutting edge technology,
right?
But it actually is supposed to come off like that, like it's more of an, it's
iPad type.
It's not You would think, but there was definitely you weren't watching movies on this thing, which was what it was more of a social media.
Yeah.
Type playing crappy games, which really probably what Leapfrog is, but
it is. Yeah.
But I don't know. It just.
Yeah. This was obviously they're going to do another one. If the first three are the Andy trilogy, this is the Bonnie trilogy. But there was a lot of stuff I really did like.
I'm surprised the age difference in those girls.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed that was of all the stuff. Toys talking. Everything. Those two kids playing together was the least believable thing I could freaking find from this movie. Bonnie's like 4, 5, probably 5.
Yeah.
5. And the other girl's like almost a teenager.
They said 9.5, but she looked. Right.
But geez, I can't.
Way...
No, I am. The kids I'm around are like 9. Mm. They're not playing. They're not going out of their way to play with a 5-year-old.
Sure.
Anyway, that's a big age difference.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have guessed around 5 or 6 for Bonnie, but I'm not sure exactly how old she's supposed to be in
she's
this movie.
She's a grow up because she acts like a baby.
She does.
It was a bad look for Bonnie. A lot of this movie.
But the overall message, I think hit home. My daughter definitely liked it. She felt
no.
No, what?
She didn't like it.
Toy Story 5?
Let me check this out. She gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Really?
And she normally gives 4.5s and 5s. Every movie she sees is her favorite movie ever.
Yeah, typically.
This was not it. She said it's time to end this one.
Did she really?
Yes.
That's funny.
She said if they would have did this, it would have been good, and she wasn't falling for this crap. Like basically they were trying to hit her buttons, and she's like, yeah, of course you hit my buttons here and there, basically is what she's getting at. But that was I was easy prey. But it's time to freaking end it. And she gave it a 2.5. That's not good. So just saying. I was riveted.
Wow.
I was like, what? 2.5? I gave it a 3.5. She doesn't want to be manipulated. I think she felt she was watching the movie and she could see the strings.
Obviously.
Yeah, so she was like,
they were
"You're
coming
trying to
for
manipulate me."
Yeah,
I don't think she didn't fall for the Taylor Swift song either. But
no,
she wasn't brave enough
not
to
the song. I think she liked the other song better.
Yeah, she did say she wished there was a different song, kind of. Yeah. So don't attack Carly, but she also didn't like the song.
There you go, Jordan. Now you don't have to see it.
I haven't seen 3 or 4 or 5. So.
Oh,
You've never seen Toy Story 3?
3?
That's kind of shocking.
3?
That was not on your list of shame?
Oh, yeah, I guess
it should have been on there. That would have been very relevant.
Yes.
Toy Story 3 is, in my opinion, the best one. Like,
yeah, it's good.
It's a great third movie. Wow. Shocking. Shocking.
Oh, I will mention while we're on movies real quick here. Very brief, but if you get the chance, I may have told you guys, but if you all out there get the chance to, and you like documentaries, to watch the new Martin Short documentary.
I almost watched it today.
Oh,
instead,
man.
Instead, I started. I thought Cliff watched this and liked it. I bet I'll usually watch stuff like that, and I've had it on my watch list. And then I saw that Sheep Detectives was on Prime, and you were so hyped on Sheep Detectives. So I started that.
Yeah,
I watched about 45 minutes of it and then slept. and I didn't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, it's fine.
this one's called Marty. Life is Short is the name of it, and I was just like, we like Martin Short. You know, he was in that movie Captain Ron that I love so much.
That's got Kurt Russell. Is that Kurt
Yeah,
Russell?
yeah. But I watched this thing and I was like,
titular.
I was like, I don't know Martin Short at all. Who is this guy, this superstar that knows everybody in Hollywood and all the, he's a big wig and having these big fancy parties and out of his lake house. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I haven't watched it, but I did like the line from the trailer where I think Steve Martin was talking. He was just like, if you're having a party and Martin Short's coming and he cancels, you cancel the party.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really wonderful. It's a feel good documentary.
I want to watch it. I like Martin Short a lot.
Definitely recommend.
All right, next on the list, we're going to talk Supergirl, big DC Comics release. 2 of us have seen it. It just came out this weekend as we were recording, so we're going to be spoiler free on this one. Just keep it a little bit vague, but we did want to talk about it.
They still can't find one I haven't seen. Good luck, guys.
So I wanted to talk a minute about the controversy. What controversy would that be? Well, there's always a controversy. So
a girl was in a movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I hate even giving oxygen to this stupid stuff, but it is so ridiculous, so stupid, so transparent, so blatant. I had to at least mention it because it fits a pattern. So let's expose the pattern. So she did a interview with Vanity Fair. That's 2 different magazines. Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair is usually, if you think about it, Vanity Fair is usually more credible. Variety is crap.
That's the Riverdale version, Variety Fair.
That's true.
So yeah, she talked to Vanity Fair like when she was first cast early on, because she had been in the Game of Thrones spinoff. So that's a demanding fandom. So they asked her, being part of that universe, did that prepare you for the inevitable backlash you'll face? They asked her ahead of time. We know there's going to be a backlash. Are you prepared for it? And she said, quote, it definitely made me aware that simply existing as a woman in that space is something that people comment on. We have become very comfortable having this weird ownership of women's bodies, unquote. So immediately people decided that was a good thing to comment on. That her commenting, saying she knew people were going to comment on her, immediately raised a bunch of comments. So there was already the backlash had begun. So then later she did an interview with Variety and they brought up, you said something super obvious that no one could ever argue it. What happened? And she says, quote, I didn't even say men. I said people. And they got so angry. I was like, you're proving my point. You're proving my point. I guess women know that this is just how it's always been, unfortunately. And it's from a lot of people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts, or someone's name and then dad of 4, Christian, which is hilarious to me.
Oh, boy.
Ha, she laughs. So immediately, she's insulting Christians. She doesn't want men to see this movie. We can't even have an opinion if we're different from her. That whole thing. When it was so obvious what she was saying. And she was like, she's a very jokey. See, I've seen a couple of interviews with her. She seems like she has a good sense of humor. She's always sort of not taking herself very seriously. She's not the method actor that's, ultra, serious. So she's saying the first thing was like, yeah, I know I'm going to be attacked before they ever come. The second one was who's doing it. It's bots and anonymous people who aren't putting their names to this thing. And so many of them claim to be dads who have daughters and think, still treat girls that way. Or they claim to be Christian, which is supposed to be the peace and love and acceptance of everyone. So she was commenting on, hypocrisy and how crazy it is that she knew it was coming and she knew who it was coming from. She was ready for it. But that's too much. That you snip that out, that she insults a Christian. boom, we hate her. Her movie sucks. She's anti-America. She's anti-everything. But the one I saw, the headline was basically like, Millie Alcock does what every other actress in Hollywood does. It didn't work for, and it named like 6 actresses who had been, raised by this nonsense. And it was like, you think they're doing it? You think that it's a purposeful strategy? All the women of Hollywood have decided, I'm gonna burn bridges and insult everyone. No, like, it's, you are the ones. You are causing this. But they acted like she's doing the same playbook as all these other girls. How dumb is she? So it's that us versus them. Like, they say the wrong thing. They're on the wrong side. They have the wrong opinion. It's so yeah. And now the current. I've seen several articles talking about, the chatter online is talking about how ugly she is. And of course, yeah, incels. She's not pretty enough to be Supergirl. She's ugly. And then people are defending her by saying, well, maybe she's not conventionally attractive. It's like, what are you talking about? She's a gorgeous human being. Like, if you, again, it's not that we would ever comment on a woman's appearance. That's not what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
But
we can comment on some of those incel neckbeards, though. We know what they look like.
That's ridiculous.
What was today? Today, Jesse Waters, today or yesterday, that was a big thing I kept seeing going around, where she had said, she's getting interviewed all the time, something about in her mind, Supergirl, her character was bisexual, maybe, or something. She said something like that, and he's like, well, I would never be attracted to that. And now, it's like, who cares what you're attracted to?
That's Hollywood's goal, is to attract Jesse.
Right.
So that's next on my list. So she has stated she's honored, quote unquote, that many fans view Supergirl as a queer icon, which predates her forever.
Right.
Obviously, it was never explicit in the comics. There was nothing like that. But before there was representation of other types of folks, people gravitated toward character. She's a kind of a non-traditional woman. She's not anybody's girlfriend. She's not a homemaker. Like, she was a strong, independent girl living on her own, alienated, lost her, separated from her family. Like, that was coded in a way that people could latch onto that and identify with that. And you can be a gay icon without being a gay character. Like, that you just attract fans in that way. So that's always had some attachment to the Supergirl character. So the host at Queerly Radio asked whether she had explored her character's supposed queerness in preparing for the role. And here is her ultra crazy left-wing response. She didn't. It wasn't. Quote, but in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions, I don't know. I think that what makes this film beautiful is that it's not centered around a man. It's not centered around love at all. I don't really know. I don't know. She probably goes both ways. So that's Jesse Waters saying, look, she's calling her gay. Like, she is equivocating, like, I have no idea, but sure. It's off the cuff, like, I never even thought about it, but maybe. And it's fine if it is, or if it does, or if you think it, I'm not saying it is, but if you think it, that's great.
Right.
But it was a completely off the cuff remark that has now, like, oh, she hates straight people now, I'm sure. So it's a way to validate why you're cheering failure. Like, that people want this movie to fail, and they're finding reasons for it, whether it's Zack Snyder fans, misogynists, whatever the reason. There are people who just want it to fail, and she's a good target as any. So stop having opinions and talking. I guess.
Yeah.
So those are the controversies. To me, it's absolutely nothing, but it goes back a long time in these types of movies of just finding some excuse, something that anyone said in any context, ignoring any context, and just having to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Talk about you had mentioned to me about the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy thing. Talk about that.
Oh my. That's a hot button.
Well, because like when you said that, I'd been thinking about that, and where normally I would say I would have assumed that guys would think of them as real, also, but when you get into it, they're just the characters, and that's what these guys don't want to see a real life interpretation of these fictional characters. They just want what they think the fictional character is, and anyone trying to become that is going to be not good enough.
Yeah, anything flesh and blood has like a will of their own,
right?
Desires of their own.
Yeah. Do you have a will of your own? Is the only question that they could possibly answer correctly. If they no.
Now, I had just thought not too long ago of the big argument in anything in Hollywood where we change a race, we change a gender, we swap ethnicities, we swap religion, whatever. There's an argument about that. And it's not because I'm racist, but ... stay true to the character. Don't change my childhood. Like there's always an argument that's not I'm bad and I have bad feelings.
You better have a pink shirt on.
Stay true to the character. That's all we care about. Make up a new gay character if you want a gay character. So in the last several years, they have turned Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in DC are partners. They're together. Every June there's Pride Month comics. They are front and center. They're on the front of the poster. They're on all the covers. Harley and Ivy. It's like the #1 same-sex couple in comics right now. And people are generally cool with it. I've never heard anyone complain about it. Of course, it hasn't been put on screen yet, which might do a whole new thing.
No one
That's never mind. But that's, to me, that's the #1 argument against the core of the character. What are their core characters? Harley Quinn was created as the Joker's girlfriend. The Joker's love interest as a female. Poison Ivy's character for 50 years was the femme fatale. She used her pheromones to seduce guys and used her sexiness to get her way and her feminine wiles. Her whole character was based on being attracted to men and vice versa. So those two characters, that is their character. That's all their characters were. That's the core of their characters. And now they're gay. So that should be a problem. But nobody seems to have an issue with that too much because they're pretty girls, I guess. But I don't know.
But nobody's tried to depict it, in that way.
Yeah,
right.
Like, of course, Margot Robbie did it fine. Because she, I don't know. It's just people are effed up in the head.
Well,
so my goal of all this is to just recognize this stuff. It is blatant. It is on purpose. There are people and entities, and not a big conspiracy theory, but like there are people who want, like I said, they want this to fail, and they write these articles, they share it to these bots, and like it gains traction, and then it gets picked up by Fox News or it gets picked up by Jesse Waters, and they just mention it, and then it becomes a mainstream thing where this crazy girl's saying stupid stuff, the same way they did with
Brie Larson
before Ms. Marvel and Brie Larson. It's like I had no issue with anything she said, but that's the accepted wisdom now, is that she said some stupid stuff and should have kept her trap shut. Like that's not what this is. It is a concentrated effort to bring these people down for whatever purpose, whatever it is behind it. So just stop just taking it at face value and repeating it. Just realize what's happening, and you can see through it pretty easily. And just not share it, not talk about it, not put it on your podcast for half an hour.
Yeah.
Well,
luckily no one listens.
Right, nobody listens anyways. It that reminded me a little bit, just because it's fresh in my mind, but not comic related. But I watch a lot of YouTube, and currently every YouTube video I click on, I am bombarded with.
You can block those.
We live in Ohio.
You can block those.
there's a current
Just click the thing.
there's a current governor election coming up. We have a candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, is running against Dr. Amy Acton, and every ad that comes up now is his ad. Radical liberal Amy Acton will ate your grandparents, and she wants to, use the gay frogs to make your kids queer, and just this ridiculous stuff. And I'm like, who believes any of this bullshit? Like, it's so terrible. First of all, just in production, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's cartoonish. And it's like, are your brains so smooth and soft that you're just absorbing this as truth? Whatever they tell you in their deep manly voice, you will believe and spew through the neighborhood. It's just so disheartening when I have a wife, I have a daughter, I have a mother, like these are people. They can think on their own. They can do stuff. It's 2026. My God. Ugh.
It's so weird that people who love pop culture so much, their media literacy is so bad. They're being able to tell truth from fiction, deep fakes from reality, AI from actual truth. Like it's really scary how easy it is to get a message through that's obviously stupid
and terrible.
That so many people put faith into.
Ugh. Okay.
Now let's rip this movie apart.
Now the movie was awful, and it's her fault. She's the ugliest person I've ever seen. No, I enjoyed the movie well enough. I didn't have high hopes going in. I really liked Superman. It gave me a good positive feeling. I wasn't sure about her character and the cameo in that. Like, I didn't know if we needed a whole movie of her stumbling around being mean and drunk.
Yeah, can I say, if I had a top 10 movie pet peeves, it would be people pretending to be drunk, because it must be super hard to do because so many people suck at it. And like, it's so cringy to me to watch actors try to act drunk poorly.
But I thought she was great as Supergirl. I thought the actors were good. I thought the characters were good. I thought the story was fine. I thought there was some real emotion to it, but it just, so much of it was by the numbers. We've seen so many of these movies now. We can see the beats coming a mile away. So it just didn't do anything new and fresh and exciting, especially being based on such a great source material.
Yeah, I just read that Woman of Tomorrow. So that was good. It's dense. There's all, took me it's 8 issues or whatever, and it's like got a lot of words in it.
Yeah.
And but it's all from the point of view of the young girl. It's all her narration, and it's just like, I was really disappointed in that character. Like, it was just like a very weak representation of what that character was in the comics, and I didn't like the changes they made. That's the problem with reading the source material, is then you know what you're missing. It's like, oh man, they have this and this, but they don't have these moments that stuck out to me. And it's going to be a thing of the gunnification of some of these movies. Like, I'm, not thrilled with that. Like, James Gunn's stuff was great for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I liked Superman, but it's like, okay, you really can see that, they're doing this Gunn style of stuff, and it's just like, I'm going to get sick of it. I'm getting sick of it.
Were you just disappointed they left out the horse / man character?
No, no, whatever. I was disappointed that there were moments I liked. I liked the whole, she would piggyback that girl, and there's like a really cool moment in that book that where she, like, the girl, pleads and gives a good argument why she needs to get to go with her, and she just silently bends down to let her get on for the next piggyback. I'm like, that's a really strong moment. And there's the whole, there's like three blue people that come on the bus or whatever and like cause some problems early in the movie, and it's like that was a whole thing in the book of the blues and the greens and all that. They didn't have anything about the guy burying his dead, and like they didn't have Supergirl being this beacon of goodness. And I know that they weren't making that story. There were issues in the title. I know, but it obviously was greatly, most the frame of this movie was that story, and they left out the part about her being this great figure to look up to, and that child talking about her and looking up to her, like describing how she notices how she's slowing her, it pains her to actually walk among the mortals and be slower and be, be a person that they can come to and things, when she has the ability to go move so fast and be so strong and everything. Like, she wants to do good, she's willing to, but she knows she's flawed, and she helps this guy bury these people, but says, if I did anything wrong, just tell me, because I make mistakes. And and it's just like, she's not that in this movie. And you get the whole, they tried to like do the thing, because she's dealing with grief from the death of her planet, just like Superman. And this girl is dealing with the death of her family, and the book folds that together so much better than this movie. Like, it just almost doesn't really, there's like some flip lines, but they don't like really get emotionally. They had this potential to emotionally grab you with this stuff, and they wasted it, I felt like, because this story had so much potential, is what was disappointing to me about it.
The comic is very episodic. Each issue is they're on a different planet, a different different culture, so that allows it to kind of see how she interacts in different ways and does different things to different people. So a movie can't really do that. It would have been 8 hours long or whatever. But
the time they wasted, not doing anything.
Yeah. So this was, the comic was written by Tom King, and the artist was Bilquis Evely, which she is not like a superhero artist normally. She wrote like Sandman stories and indie, dreamlike stuff. So her art, like every alien planet was different and colorful. Every alien species was unique and different. And this movie was, again, just a lot of gray, a lot of dark. The fight scenes, like the vistas, every planet, you could just, it all could have took place on the same planet. There weren't these great alien vistas. Again, there was a lot of character design, but I don't know, there was a lot of CGI, a lot of silly James Gunn type, goofy alien stuff. So again, it didn't use the palette that the comic created. And it felt like it kind of dulled her down, which that's the whole point. She goes to the red sun planets to not feel like a normal person. But like, I don't know that we ever got full super. This is Supergirl. She's as strong as Superman. The
maybe
powerful
stronger
being in the universe
a lot of the time.
Yeah. And so like, they keep finding ways to depower her, and like she just gets into fistfights with people and like gets knocked down and gets hurt, and it's like we I want to see her be like Supergirl, all time powerful character. So yeah, I felt a lot of the CGI. There were some cool fight scenes and stuff, but just so much of it, I couldn't tell what was going on. Like, oh, who got hit? Who fell? What's that thing? Oh, that's a ship. Okay, who's on the ship? I can't even tell.
Oh, a bunch of Mad Max guys,
Yeah.
you know.
But the biggest change I didn't like from the book was the villain.
I totally agree. I told Nick, I was like, what? I liked the villain in the book.
In the comic, he's a nobody. He's not. The movie makes him the ultimate, leader of the bad guys, the most powerful villain in the universe that everyone fears. The book is just about a nobody who kills a nobody, and that's important. Even in the wide scope of the universe, that's important. But the movie is this guy's gonna bring about ruin to the cosmos. It's
strength of 1,000 men.
Yeah. So it just sort of that kind of just nobody guy who follows the leader and commits evil just because everyone else is.
He's just a jerk. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a more interesting villain to me than the almighty, all-powerful.
Yep.
I don't know. It just, the movie kept tiptoeing up to those lines in dealing with, what is justice? What is versus vengeance? Have we ever dealt with that in superhero world? Like, this would have been the place to do it. We have a Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
We have Avengers who, but like, we ever dealt with what is actual justice in this world?
James
So
Gunn
it deals with like psychological stuff like that, but then it's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're just gonna have another fight scene. So it walked that tightrope of like, this could be really interesting, really deep, really new and exciting and interesting. And
now you've used it.
Took the easy road every time.
Now you've used that source material that you could have done the story and spent 10 minutes on each planet or whatever, on each chapter, and freaking done it. But now you half-assed it.
James Gunn was the producer, right? He didn't direct this.
Right. Yeah. But whatever. You can tell they were trying to please him. I don't know diddly about Lobo. But I sure hope for any Lobo fans that he's more interesting than this. Like, it was just laughable. Like, what is this crap?
Momoa was fine portraying the character, but there's not a lot to that character, and it did feel a little tacked on. It's like, oh, we got to get some testosterone in this movie. Can't have too many chicks. Like, it just felt very producer.
From what I heard because I just read the comic, and I had read some blurb about it. Apparently, because he's highly lauded for writing that comic, but he was heavily inspired by True Grit. So you had recently watched the movies to prepare for that, and there's definitely, you can see it. But my point, trying to remember what my point was. That his original idea, I guess, was for Lobo to be the main character and Supergirl's the young person, is the the girl from True Grit. But then he switched it, and I think it's just someone heard that and was like, "Oh, Lobo, let's put him in here." So it's like it doesn't even his like. I'm like watching from the distance and just being like, yeah, or whatever. Like, I was just like, oh my God, come on. What are we watching? It's nice to hear that there isn't much more to the character. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
He was created as a parody of that over-the-top, ultra-violent 80s type vigilante monster, bounty hunter, cool leather jacket guy.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter
he is awesome.
He's nearly immortal from a species that are gone because he killed them all. It's super macho.
Well, okay. Well, that's what he was.
Vest and biker.
You'll
dude.
love him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a pink thing on. He was he was. I'm just kidding. I mean, he probably was exactly what he's supposed to be, and I'm sure that's what I would think Lobo would look like. I was just hoping there was like something I'm missing.
Well,
here.
I can't imagine in this movie they would be able to get into the later Lobo stuff with the religion and the fish god and all that stuff. No. So yeah,
he's supposed to be getting his own R-rated movie,
Lobo
movie. So
please,
yeah, he'll get to have all the fun he wants.
All right.
The only other thing was I think I lost count of how many times she was almost down and out, but the yellow sun, we gotta get to the yellow sun, and every time I heard the Popeye theme song, because she would spring up and be like, I'm powerful again. It's like, this is such a Popeye.
Yeah, I liked how they threw that in. Like, I did just read the thing, but it was just like, it's the green sun. I don't remember it being a yellow sun, was it also, or anything? It was just supposed to be a mix of
just the sunset. And
and it was just the sunset, and it's like it's something that she needed the water and stuff. And I don't really understand that either, but they didn't like explain it much in the comic or whatever. But there wasn't just wait for the yellow sun to come up. There was not that. I was like, come on. Whatever.
I thought it was good enough.
She was good.
Potential there, and again, this is the origin story. This is her dealing with her stuff. And becoming more part of the DC universe, and I could see her coming back and
now she
more
can
interesting story.
Yeah, but now she's, and they're gonna say that this was her deal with it. And yeah, she can come back to Metropolis and be fine.
Yeah,
like okay, if you say so.
All right, there we go. There's some movies. Summer movies. It's happening. We're enjoying it. We're in the midst of this.
Really worried about this one. I don't know how much. Let me see. We'll look at the thing here. How much did it make so far?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
I know it was projected to be a little disappointing.
Yeah, it's not clocking on my list. So we will see. Yeah, Toy Story is already in first place. It is Friday night, a week into its.
Which gains us all the exact same amount of points.
Yes.
Yep.
It's only after 1 week it's at 227 million. It let's see. Yeah, Spider-Man I'm wondering about. Odyssey's going to do well. Not that, I think it's going to do better than I thought. But Spider-Man, I really wish I would have been the contrary pick just because I'm not going to win the other way. So I wish I would at least would have had a different number one than everybody, because when those tickets went on sale, it crashed. Like I had to wait an hour to be able to buy tickets. And now I'm sure it's not like I'm worried about being able to see it here. I'm going to be in Indianapolis, and I want to be, there's going to be a bunch of nerds in Indianapolis. But it's like, worldwide, people were trying to get on Fandango, buy tickets for Spider-Man.
Hype up the Spider-Man movie after you trash the DC stuff.
Because it's going to be good. It looks good. Like, it'll actually be good. But I'm like, I want to be able to see it while I'm in Indianapolis. So I was like, oh crap, this is taking me an hour to buy tickets. Is this going to make bank? Like,
yeah, the whole reason I picked Toy Story is because I thought you guys wouldn't. I thought for sure you all would pick Spider-Man. So I was like, well, I'll give it a shot in the dark and pick Toy Story.
After really? See, I just feel like we're all in the zone now of kids movie is going to do it. And that's like the ultimate kids movie as far as I'm concerned. After Lilo and Stitch won last year, how is Toy Story bigger than Lilo and Stitch? Like, how is it not going to kill? I just thought it's so obvious.
But like Deadpool did so, Deadpool versus Wolverine, whatever it was, Deadpool and Wolverine, whatever it was, did, so much money that I thought, well,
Yeah, but it couldn't beat Inside Out.
Oh, it didn't beat Inside Out that year? Oh, okay.
Inside Out 2.
I'm just glad none of us put too much stock in Spielberg.
Yeah.
That would have been a mistake.
That's true.
Rip. Jesse.
All right, thanks everybody. There's some movies for you. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back soon by the Ka-Power of pop culture. We are Ka-Pow, the power podcast of power, and my name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. Goodbye forever.
Thanks for listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. The best way to support the show is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/YouDownWithKPP. Catch every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you listen. And check us out online at podbean.com. Stay connected with us on YouTube and TikTok for extra content, or send us an email anytime at kapowthepopculturepodcast@gmail.com. All sounds, clips, and media played are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is the property of Ka-Pow, the Pop Cultured Podcast. We'll be back soon with more fun, more laughs, and more pop culture. But until then, ask everybody you know. You down with KPP?